Should you grow tomatoes? Are tomato plants worth it? Nothing is better than a sun-ripe garden tomato. How can you be happy in these difficult times? Here comes a recession times. How do you not let the crazy world dictate how you live your life? A good start is growing amazing, awesome, nothing tastes better than garden tomatoes. Live a happy, fun-loving, freedom life. Once a recession gets started and the wheels are in motion, it's almost impossible to stop the recession from happening. So what can you do to not just simply survive? The best time to get started was probably a few years ago. Thank you, Captain Obvious. The second best time to get started is today. Hey, no time like the present. All right, real quick, my wish, my goal, my desire is to share information so you can navigate what's happening. We can't change what's going on in the world, and my thinking is you might as well be happy. Make up your mind to be happy. Be sure to walk the walk. Many people out there, they rant and spread fear, but they're not offering any solutions. They go out of their way to make you fearful, getting you to thinking the end of life as we know it is just around the corner. So what's the point of even trying? I might as well just crawl in a hole and hide. I'll share the video that I made about people spreading fear. I made it a couple weeks ago, so I'll put it in the description for you. Okay, there are many things going wrong in the world today. Our topic that we're going to talk about today is you living life prepared and happy during a recession. The happy part's important. Basically, a recession is when the economy slows down. So what actually happens during a recession? Businesses, they start to tighten up their belts. And we're already seeing that happening. Companies like Facebook, Walmart, Tesla, and all kinds of businesses, they're slowing their hiring, and they're actually starting to let people go. People in the real world, they lose their jobs. Today it's a little bit different because the unemployment number is low at 3.6%. Keep in mind, this is the people that are actively actually looking for jobs. But we have a weird situation today because there's 11 to 12 million jobs that are currently unfilled. If it's a long recession, will there still be all these unfilled jobs? Will unemployment skyrocket? Hey, who knows? I sure don't. So anyway, the cutback happens, people lose their jobs, and it gets harder to find work, and this sets up that downward spiral of the economy. People spend less, companies cut back more, people spend even less, and the companies cut back more, and it's that self-fulfilling round and round and round we go. It feeds on itself, and the recession just keeps getting worse. So, what are we doing to prepare? What can you do to prepare? And these are steps, a good idea whether we experience a recession or we don't. That'd be great, right? For me, it's always been about living a life you don't need a vacation from. I'm sharing my thoughts on how to live through a recession. And I'm really talking about how to live life no matter what. This is a good idea always, recession or no recession, living a simple, self-sufficient country life. The three things that we have to have. Everything else, that's just noise. So, getting down to the nitty-gritty. Food and water. Gotta have food and water. A decent roof over your head. Oop, gotta have a place to live. And appropriate clothing. So number one, the food and the water. A hand pump well with safe water in it is probably going to be the best. What source of water do you have? Can you produce or gather enough food to live on, not just today, but for an extended length of time, a long time? Number 2, the roof over your head. What available shelter do you have? You got a home, an RV? Are you in an apartment or a condo? Yikes. Make sure you have a reliable living arrangement, be it in your home, or wherever that you're going to live. Number 3, clothing. Make sure you have clothes necessary for year-around. Right now, it's crazy hot outside in a swimsuit, or even not. Might seem all that's needed. Whew, I'm sweating like crazy. But hard to believe, winter's just around the corner and everyone needs to have appropriate clothes planned ahead for all the seasons where you live. Now, after taking care of these 3 basics, what else can you do? There's always more. Get your emergency fund built up as much as you can. Have cash on hand. We are seeing money issues happening all around the world. What if there's a problem with banks, or the internet, or the electrical grid? Any problems, if anything goes wrong, you want to have plenty of cash on hand. Cash is king. Eliminate expenses where you can. You're probably paying a bunch of those monthly recurring charges. You might not even remember that you got them. They're kind of sneaky that way. You sign up for stuff and you completely forget about it and you just pay it every month. So pay those off or drop them. Pay down any debt that you have before the interest rates jump way up. A lot of interest is tied to that Fed rate, and as the Fed rate goes up, so do all your payments. So get rid of any debt that you can. And this is a good idea always. Recession or no recession. Helps you being able to be happy, and I want you to be happy. Assume that the worst is yet to come. It's been a long time since things have been in recession territory, right? We had a bad spell back in 2008, and going way back, you see it in the news, they keep talking about 40 years ago. Yep, 40 years ago, how bad it was. So prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Others talk about prepping and preparing for disaster and economic collapse and the end of the world as we know it. My goal is to live life to the fullest no matter what's going on out there in the world. Not just prepping for an event, like a recession. Preparing for a self-sufficient, simple living, country way of life. It's about living life each day the way that you want to live it. My thinking, a self-sufficient, simple country life is just good common sense. Live within your means. Don't spend money before you actually make it. Not a good idea. And don't panic. Ah! No panicking. Make up your mind to be happy. Don't let the busy, crazy, here comes a bad recession world dictate how you live your life. You get to decide how you will live your life. Live a happy, fun-loving, freedom life. Freedom!